Yo, what's going on, boys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we're going over the new Sekafest for the 4th year anniversary, which is pretty hype. All the information on the Sekafest, going over the details, the breakdown for each part of the Sekafest, and then my overview of when I think you guys should pull. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So guys, it's finally here, the release of the 4th year anniversary, and we have the banner, artwork and everything. It looks pretty cool, and we're gonna go over the entire banner details and talk about them in a little bit. The 4th year anniversary is gonna be dropping on the 10th of May at 1700 JST, which is basically 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. I'll probably wake up for that. Sure. Maybe I'll probably just do it in the morning. You know what? I can wait a couple hours. It's fine. It's not going anywhere. I'll just do my pulls first thing in the morning. As we already know, all multis are going to be 4-star or above or gold. There's going to be 3 separate banners with 3 different sets of rate ups. And the 4th anniversary Sanji and Reiju are going to be allies you can rely on in the Big Mom treasure map. They're going to both give 1.35 times boost, and they're going to be 2.5 times stat boosted. So they're not going to be treasure mode units, but they're going to be treasure mode boosted units. They said something's going to be different this next treasure mode, and I'm not sure if that means that these 2 units are, since they are going to be 1.35 times boosters, they're changing the way treasure mode works on JP so that we don't have the massive point boost from treasure mode boosters anymore, and we just have other units, which would be really cool. I would be okay with that. I would be okay getting other units that have better point boosts, or just getting less point boosts and having like an easier time, so you don't have to wail for like a treasure mode unit. Because I went 12 multis in and I didn't get the treasure mode unit. I was really pissed off about that. You see that multi? That was a little triggering. The 4th year anniversary Sanji is only going to be available on part 2 of the banner, and then so is the 3rd year anniversary Shanks, as well as the 4th year anniversary Reiju is only going to be available on part 3 of the banner, along with the 3rd year anniversary Boa Hancock. So all the information we already knew. The new Legend Nami and Gear 4 Luffy are going to be allies you can rely on in the treasure map, and they're going to both be 1.35 times boosters and have stat boost along with -5 cooldown. All the new rare recruits are going to be 1.25 times boosters in the treasure mode. So this is kind of like a pseudo treasure mode Sugo, kind of like the Lucy Sekafest, but I'm not really sure if there's going to be other treasure mode units. This is kind of a weird one. Of course, this is going to be a 2 times Legend Rate banner, which is a little disappointing because the 3rd year anniversary was a 3 times Legend Rate banner, which is pretty insane. However, they're changing the way we get guaranteed legends here, so it actually might be okay or a little bit better. We're just going to have to see. So going into the banner, we know that part 1 is going to be from the 10th at 1700 JST all the way through the 12th at 1159 JST. The part 2 of the banner is going to be on the 12th through the 13th, and then the part 3 of the banner 13th to the 14th. So for part 1 of the banner, it's actually pretty interesting. I'm kind of happy about this, but I'm kind of on the fence. Okay, so the 2nd, 6th, 8th, 14th, 18th, and 18th multiple are going to have the 11th unit be a guaranteed legend. It's going to be any legend in the game. The 4th multiple, however, is going to be a guaranteed Straw Hat legend, just like whatever in my last video. It's going to be Nami, G4 Luffy version 2, Luffy Ace, Frankie, Robin, TS Zoro, Uso Lin, Sanji, and TS Luffy. 9 different legends. And there's a bunch of meh legends mixed in there. So the 4th multi is kind of a pooper scooper. I mean, you do have a chance of getting Nami, Luffy Ace, Frankie, Robin, or Gear 4 version 2 Luffy. The rest are kind of really old and not used at all anymore. So this is the interesting one. The 10th multi-pull is going to be a guaranteed legend out of just 5 legends. It's going to be Doflamingo, Nami, version 2 Luffy, Luffy Ace, and Lucy. So if you are missing all 5 of those, that's amazing. If you're missing 4 of those, even still amazing. Missing 3 of those, then it's a little tricky. Number 2, and then you're like, and 1, you're like, oh god, please let me get it. To me, I'm only missing, of course, the Nami and the Gear 4 version 2 Luffy. I don't know if I want to do 10 multis there. That's pretty tough. But the 12th multiple is going to be guaranteed any level with special. The 16th multi is going to guaranteed rate up legend, and the 20th multi is of course going to be guaranteed rate up legend with max special. I'm not going to do 20 multis, no fucking way. Part 2 of the banner, the 2nd multiple is 11th unit guaranteed which is going to be a 4th anniversary Sanji. Part 3, the 3rd multiple, and 8th multiple is going to be any legend in the entire game. The 5th and 10th multiple is going to be guaranteed legend with any, guaranteed any legend with a max special level. And the 6th and 12th multiple are going to be guaranteed rate up legends. It's going to be the same on both Part 2 and Part 3 of the banners. Now let's go over the rate ups a little bit for the legends, and this is really important on this kind of Sugo Fest. For Anniversary Sugo Fest, the legends for rate ups actually matter a lot more than they do on any other Sugo Fest. And the reason that matters is because there's guaranteed rate up legends and there's guaranteed specific pool legends. And that's what really you want to focus on, is like those guaranteed rate up legends as well as the guaranteed small pool legends, because those are the multi-pools that you want to actually shoot for. So, if you're trying to figure out what day you should pull, that's how I would make your first decision. Trying to figure out if you can get a guaranteed rate up legend, which would be 6 multis on Part 2 or Part 3, and it would be 16 multis on Part 1, and then this small pool on Part 2. I don't really know if Part 1 is a bait or not. It's kind of weird. So Part 1 has Nami, Gear 4 Luffy, Rayleigh version 2, Frankie, Judge, Boa Hancock V2, Lucy, Fujitora V2, Rob Lucci V2, Timeskip Luffy, Hody Jones, Magellan, Borsellino, Akainu, and Corazon as the rate up legends. So the weird thing about Part 1 is that you don't really have to focus on the rate up legends until the 16th multi, which is really weird to me. If we go into the banner details here on Part 1, the only thing that's really interesting is that if you go up to 4 multis, you then have a guaranteed about 2 out of 10 chance to get either the Gear 4 version 2 Luffy or the Nami. And then there's also Luffy, Ace, Frankie, and Robin. So if you're missing all 5 of those, there's a 50% chance to get a very, very good unit. And going up to the 6th, 8th, 14th, whatever multiple after that, doesn't really give you a ton of rewards unless you can go to the 10th multi and you're missing a lot of those units in that very small pool. For me, I'm only missing Nami and Gear 4 Luffy, so the most pulls I would do on day 1 for myself is going to be 10 multis, because beyond that point, it really doesn't make sense for me to keep doing pulls. I'm just going to do pulls on small rate ups or minor rate ups, and I'm not going to have a huge chance of getting the units I actually want to get. However, if we go to Part 2 or Part 3 of the banner, you notice that I actually, for the 3rd multi-pull, the 5th multi-pull, and the 6th multi-pull, I'm going to get guaranteed legends. So the same amount of guaranteed legends, and of course I get that Anniversary Sanji. But I also get a rate up legend just after 6 multis, which is really interesting that it would take the same amount of multis to get 10 and then 6 versus 16 multis on one day, which is very weird to me, but that allows me to spread my pool a little bit bigger. So if I want to change over 2 different days, it allows me to do that. So the goal on day 1 of the Sugo Fest for myself is, of course, try to get a new legend. And then for rare recruits, I want to get all of the rare recruits. Once I get all the rare recruits, I kind of want to stop at that point and then switch to a different banner. For the rare recruits, we're going to have the new Brooke, Chopper, Carrot, and Pedro. I don't know what they call WCI, I think. Then there's going to be Rebecca, Kairos, Barto, Valentine Carrot, Cavendish, Timeskip Burgess, V2 Brooke, V2 Diamante, 20th Anniversary Brooke, 20th Anniversary Chopper, Impledead Hannibal, Neptune, Daruma, Timeskip Perona, Timeskip Sanji, Timeskip Robin, and Timeskip Nami. So the units that are still useful to this day out of that pool are just going to be TS Robin, TS Nami, TS Sanji, Neptune, obviously, Daruma, Diamante version 2, Dex Cavendish, Valentine Carrot, maybe Quick Barto, but I don't know. Kairos version 2, still good. Rebecca version 2, I'm going to give it to her because she is, the slashers are missing a lot of that. And of course, all of the new units. So there's 10 of the older units and then all the newer units. So there is a very large pool of useful units there. However, if you do have a lot of these units already, probably hold off on going like really, really deep on this. Obviously, you want to get the new units because all of them are amazing. None of them are bad. All of them are very, very strong and much stronger than any of the units that are preceding them. So part 2 of the banner, we're going to have Gear 4 Luffy be a rate up legend. Version 2 Akainu, Doflamingo version 2, Shanks version 2, Dex Usopp, Blackbeard, Enel, Doflamingo version 1, Cavendish, Barto, and Marco. So to me, this part, I'm actually missing 3 rate up legends, but that's like 3 out of... So that's a 3 out of 11 chance for me to get a new legend on the 6th multiple, which is not the best. It's okay, I guess. It's not the greatest. So... I don't really know how many multis I want to do on this Sugo Fest, but for me, I'm really kind of like torn if I want to do more than 10 multis. 10 multis sounds like a lot, and it is a lot of multis, but there are tons of people that are going to be doing way more than 10 multis on the Sugafest, and I really don't know if I want to do more than that, because 10 multis seems like an excessive amount already. Looking at the rare pool, we're going to have 4th anniversary Sanji, 30th anniversary Shanks, the new Brook and Pedro. Then we're going to have brand new, which I do need, Pika, Bellamy, Treble version 2, 20th anniversary Zoro, Sanji, Frankie, and Robin. Impeldown, Ivanka, Mr. 2, Jinbei, the new Dex Lucci, Moria, Kinemon, and Momonosuke, the worst rare recruit in the entire game. Part 3 of the banner is going to have Nami, Robin, Luffy Ace, Aokiji version 2, Inarashi, Nekomamushi, Shirahoshi, Law version 2, Sanji, Stronghold Ace, and Aokiji version 1. The rare recruit's going to be available. Going to be 4th anniversary Reiju. Then we have Boa Hancock, new Chopper, new Carrot, Garp version 2, Sengoku, I do need. Valentine Shirahoshi, Marco version 2, Koala, Valentine Koala, 20th anniversary Nami, 20th anniversary Luffy, Beppo version 2, Boa Marigold, Boa Sandersonia, Marguerite, Kuma, Mr. Zero, Sicilian, and Wanda. So overall, my opinions for this Sugafest, it's not great for me, but it is amazing for a lot of players. So for me, I'm not seeing like the biggest hype ball ever because my legend pool is a little bit larger than most players, and if I was newer at the game, this Sugafest is insane. There's a ton of legends to get in here, lots of guaranteed legends. Part 1, I'd say, is by far the best if you're a newer player at the game. Part 2 and 3, I would probably say no unless you are like mid to late game, and it's a little tricky. And if you're an Omega Whale, you're probably just going to be pulling on all 3 parts anyways, no matter what I say. So, I'd say if I was going to do any pulls, I would do I would do pulls on day 1 because that guaranteed Straw Hat Legend on the 4th multi is a 50% chance to have a baller ass legend. So I'd say that would be your best bet if you do 4 multis, especially since you're getting 2 guaranteed legends no matter what you do. There's gonna be a 2 times legend rate, which is probably about 7.5%, which means out of the 40 pulls that you're gonna be doing, you have a 7.5% chance every single pull you do. That's a lot of pulls, and a really good chance you're gonna get probably more than 1 legend. Plus, you have the extra poster on 2 of those to get 2 extra pulls. So overall, you have a pretty darn good chance of pulling like 3 or 4 legends in that 4 multi span. Most players are gonna be falling into that category, and if you haven't saved a lot of gems for this anniversary, you're only doing like 2 or 3 multis, this is a great time for you to pull right here. If you were lucky enough to get the 444 gems and you have an account like that, then obviously you're going to be going for that 10th multi on the first day. It is perfect. It is the perfect amount of gems for you to be pulling on and get that 10th multi with the a lot of different legends on your account. You have a great account for this the anniversary. So overall, I'd say for newer players, part 1 is the best. Part 2 is really only for people that are missing specifically those legends on the days in a very large amount. But part 1 is just better than every other part. I really don't see the reason to pull in part 2 or part 3 unless you're missing a lot of those units. And one of the things that's a really big trap on this banner that a lot of people might fall for is when you pull a legend with max special. That is actually a bad thing right now. And the reason that's a bad thing is because we're going to be going into a place where we have 4 times skill up, which is basically an 80% skill up rate. We're also going to get all the legend books coming out for a lot of different islands, so you can just farm out the skill ups anyways on those islands, and they're not going to take you any time at all because of how short of a time it's going to take you to actually skill them up during a 4 times skill up banner. So, in my personal opinion, why would you ever want to pull on part 2 or part 3 to get more max special up legends? I would just go for the part 1 banner just for that. The getting the max special up banner doesn't really seem that great to me. Maybe you know something I don't know, or there's something different, but overall, I'd say pulling on part 1 is the best. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this episode of One Piece Treasure Cruise News, going over the banner for the 4th anniversary, going over my what you should pull on, all that stuff. Video. My name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support in the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want to get notifications on all my videos, make sure you hit the bell notification right next to it to get notifications every time I drop a video. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.